No, I'm ghetto rich. Oh, okay. I realized this morning I'm drinking because I started drinking no later than like probably 8:30 or 9 a.m. in the morning. So I'm drinking and I'm doing the same mix. I don't even think it wasn't Don Julio, it was Casamigos. And I realized I drank motherfucking like a month and a half expired orange juice. So I'm over here Googling if that's a problem. Is that a problem, chat? This one don't expire till May. But I definitely, because I be having so much of this shit around the house, bro, like, I think it was in the fridge. I just took it out, but it was a month and a half. I think I'll be all right. There's a new Wiz Khalifa album tonight. Okay. All right, babe. Yeah, I see the Ken Carson stuff. All right. Let's actually get to this, before I get too drunk. Let me give y'all some lawyer-demic shit real quick. Where's the full filing? Hold on. I think I have the full filing. Okay, here we go. All right. So what Drake has basically done today is file what's called an amended complaint. So he is alleging more things in his federal trial, or federal case actually. It's a civil case, but his federal case against UMG. The base premise is this. He says that the company has, through various means that could possibly be criminal, right? Like, for example, payola is criminal. Payola would be the purchasing of, if you pay for federal airwaves to play a song or anything that's not titled as an ad that you're paying for, it's legal. Payola actually doesn't exist with like internet. Some people might not know that. However, he's accusing UMG of doing a bunch of shit, right? So y'all use bots to inflate a song that was defaming me. Y'all promoted a song that was defaming me. We were in a negotiation where I was trying to get $600 million, and then you were trying to like underhandedly devalue me because it would be in your benefit, which kind of goes against ethical business practices. And that's kind of where the main claims come from. Now, he's filed this amended complaint, and I don't know why people are, by the way, this is a civil suit. Like, we don't know what's going to happen, but there's a lot of K-bots who came out with a story that said Drake took out some claims, like, oh, he was backpedaling from this idea that he thought Not Like Us was botted. And essentially, Drake has filed this amended complaint and doubled down on it, as opposed to what the K-bots and everybody else was saying that he didn't agree with, or he found some information through discovery saying that he wouldn't pursue this whole bot angle. So I'm not going to read through everything because we've read a bunch of stuff before, but he still starts his amended complaint with this damn line: a single lie could destroy reputation and integrity. While it takes years to build a reputation, it could be ruined in 5 minutes, okay? This was a notorious quote from Lucian Grange before the battle. And this was, I believe, this was on one of the quarterly calls that he had. Now, Drake, he basically starts off by saying, in the middle of the night, May 7th, armed group of people drove up to his house. Drake is inside. The car stopped in front of the crib. Yelled, fuck Drake. One gunman got out, began to open fire. One bullet went through the security gate, hit the front door. Another bullet struck and wounded a security guard who was one of his friends while the car drove away. And by the way, I don't believe that guy died. I was trying to keep some tabs on it. I don't believe he passed away, which is good. But he was in critical condition for a while. So Drake was in the house. Drake summoned for help from the security guard, did everything possible to keep him alive. During the nearly 30 minutes for ambulance to arrive, he labored trying to keep the man alive by applying pressure to the gunshot wound with towels. Now, I've told you guys, direct communication with me and Drake when he was basically saying, yo, some real shit came up and I had to stop rapping. Like, these are real conversations. Like, I remember I had a conversation with Drake where Drake was like I think, it's a little bit insider, so I won't say everything, but he's kind of like summing up, or he kind of like, he's foreseeing how Kendrick is playing it, because he's playing it too, right? And he's like, yo, that nigga got to be in the lab going crazy every night because I'm in the lab going crazy every night, writing songs for whatever could be coming next, right? And he was just chilling at the crib, just recording every night during this battle while, I'm on Twitter saying, yo, day 2 since niggas don't respond. Like, he's there working on music every night trying to, because he's engaged in this thing. And then all of a sudden, there's a drive-by at his crib. You get what I'm saying? And, like, now that turns to a whole different situation. It's like, yeah, because you acted, and I know fans are unrealistic, but do you just be like, oh, nah, yeah, my security guard got shot and there's bullet holes through my door. But let me get back to writing these diss bars about Kendrick's kid not being his. Like, no, you're going to kind of like, bruh, whatever, bruh. You know what I mean? So that's kind of, I think he's also painting it in that picture. In this lawsuit, it's after the security guard, blah, blah. Very next day, a different intruder uses bare hands to dig a hole under the security fence and try to get up in the crib. And the very next day, another break-in attempt happened, right? Now, this is going to be set up in this lawsuit to kind of show something. And by the way, just to be very honest, when I spoke to Drake, that he never said that to me. Not saying that maybe that wasn't his thought. He never said, yo, niggas is trying to run up in my crib ever since this fuck nigga Kendrick put out a song. I believe the song dropped on May 4th, Not Like Us. And on that day, the fucking cover art was a picture of Drake's house with a bunch of PDF logos on it. You get what I'm saying? So he never told me that, but, this is a lawsuit. He's kind of framing it like that. Like, yo, y'all let this nigga drop, which, by the way, I do think that's flagrantly wrong, right? Like, I'm pretty sure if any artist was dropping a diss song about Taylor Swift and had Taylor Swift picture of her house on there, Universal wouldn't release it. I don't think they would play with her like that. But I do think they took a hands-off approach because they're like, yo, bro, y'all are rappers. Y'all have done worse. You get what I'm saying? It's a UMG is the largest music company in the world, and also the music company has represented Drake for more than a decade. And okay, cool. We kind of like going through that. The song Not Like Us, performed by Kendrick Lamar, okay, to convey a specific, unmistakable, and a false factual allegation that Drake is a criminal pedophile and that vigilante justice is a response. Okay, the recording is defamatory because his lyrics and his album image, and I'm pretty sure they're going to show the image down here. Or maybe they have a different thing for a, yeah, right there. Bingo, right there. Okay. In the image, let's see. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is a long thing. I'm going to start skimming through it in a little bit, but let's get through as much as we can. So, it says on May 4th, right, they approved, publish, and launch a campaign to create a viral hit out of the track falsely accusing Drake of being a kid fucker, okay? And the song called for violent retributions against him. Even though UMG enriched itself and its shareholders by exploiting Drake's music for years and knew that the salacious allegations against Drake were false, UMG chose corporate greed over the safety and well-being of his artists. In controversy, UMG saw an opportunity, seized it, and continued to fan the flames even after learning the incitement of violence on the 7th and 8th. The song in question, by the way, you see, this is also like a really ethical question for the executives at UMG, because I'm pretty sure every grieving mother could make the same argument Drake is. Yo, y'all promoted a song called Who I Smoke, and that led to people getting smoked. Y'all promoted a song called When I See You, and then niggas died when they were saw. Like, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of instances where these songs have led to negative effects. And if Drake is successful by saying, yo, and by the way, those songs never got removed. So even after the death of, let's say, rapper A or rapper B, like, I mean, shit, if this is successful, technically, the estate of Notorious B.I.G. or even possibly Tupac could possibly try to make that argument. And not only throw UMG in there, but throw in a whole bunch of other, well, specifically UMG because, they were signed to UMG. But I would see media companies could get thrown in that too. So I still think it's a reach. But if that gets successful for Drake, it does set a crazy precedence that basically music companies should have some ethical responsibility for what they're promoting. And it's not only on the artist that writes the lyric, performs the lyric, and chooses to upload the songs, right? All right, let's get to some more stuff. All right, the recording was all right, blah, 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 da, da, da. The lyrics accuse Drake of engaging in criminal acts by calling him a certified PDF and a predator who needs to be placed on neighborhood watch. The image was designed to reinforce a fact that, what? By depicting Drake's actual house covered with what's known by law enforcement as, sex offender like icons. The video was created weeks after the song became a viral hit. It was designed to reinforce the same false narrative. For example, showing images associated with sex trafficking and juxtapose the game of hopscotch with the game of with lyrics accusing Drake of trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor. The lawsuit's not about who created, not like us. It's instead entirely about UMG, the music company that decided to publish, promote, exploit, and monetize the allegations that it understood were not only false but dangerous, okay? All right, we kind of know that. So here's the other angle. I'm going to try to skim through this because it's 107 pages if you don't know. I'm going to try to find the angle because we have yet to see this. Remember, this is the federal complaint by Drake, but we're trying to see some juicy shit, right? Like, yo, Drake, at least tell us how much you was going to get paid by UMG. Tell us how maybe after the battle they came back and said, yeah, we offered you, I don't know, we offered you $400 million before or $500 million. Now we're only offering $250. Like, we're trying to get some type of privileged details about the negotiations with Drake and UMG because here's the thing. I don't think people will get down with Drake on this idea of suing his label if it's all about you badmouth me. Yo, diss songs are all in the culture. I ain't gonna lie, some of my favorite songs, diss niggas who died. You know what I'm saying? I love indictment music. I love it. So Drake trying to say, you said something about me that's not true. Now, granted, we all know being called, for example, a rapist or a pedophile, these are the worst. That's even worse than being called a murderer, right? And obviously, you have to have a reaction to that. But historically in hip-hop, people have said all type of wild things about each other. And defamation isn't a hip-hop type of thing. Be like, what you mean? So I called you a fuck nigga or I call you a fat ass hoe or a snitch ass nigga and you're suing me. So I don't think hip-hop will ride for Drake with that. But there is this underlying idea that Drake was about to sign some historic deal. And by the way, we get into these conspiracy theories. Even when you hear about Cosby getting locked up, like, damn, he was just about to buy CDS. They hated on him. Diddy gets indicted. Ah, man, it's because Diageo didn't want him to take over the liquor game. We hear these things. So there's this idea that we could all get on board with that says the behemoth, the conglomerate, the man takes down the successful black man, and I know Drake is mixed, but still successful black man, when he feels he gets too big for his britches, right? Oh, all right, we gave you $400 million. Now you want $600? All right, let me humble you because you think you're too good. Or let's humble you because, and by the way, we've heard this about UMG and, not only that, but also their publishing consortiums when it came to Michael Jackson, but also the artist formerly known, or still known really, as Prince. So we're thinking, oh, wow, here's the difference between all of those situations and Drake. Drake will be the very first artist that is taking on the battle while he's still at his peak. I've always told people, I hate when niggas fall off and complain. Don't bitch about your label when you have no leverage. You got to speak when you have leverage. This is the reason why they named me what? Number one. Am I still even number one? Like, I don't know if they put out a new list. They said I was the number one hip-hop media personality in the game. By the way, I feel like I'm doing Trump hands. Like, that's how Trump talks. Anyway, they said I was the number one media personality in the game. I had to get everything off my chest about how I felt about the list, other niggas, the current game. I got to get off now because here's what happens. God forbid you're not on the list next time, and you start saying some shit that's some real shit by basically, like, I don't know, imagine I'm saying, yo, listen, man, yeah, nigga, yeah, you got to do a lot of dick sucking in the game. You got to do X, Y, and Z. Once you're not on the list, they're going to look at you and be like, this nigga salty. He a hater. So you always got to speak when you're number one. That's why even though, and I think this is where Kanye kind of gets drawn to this purported battle with Drake, because as much as Jay-Z is donkey fucking Beyonce, he wasn't speaking up for Beyonce when she was losing in Video of the Years or whatever the fuck. He wasn't saying shit. The first time I heard him speak up for Beyonce was after now he got the Infinity Stone. Jay's like I ain't gonna lie. You know how Jay had that song, I'm not black, the story of OJ would be like, yo, I'm not black, I'm OJ, or something like that. Basically saying that sometimes a black man could feel so powerful he feel he's white. Jay-Z is white. Like, and I'm not saying he thinks he's white, but I'm saying that if you just watch how he just violated Tony Busby, if you watch how he's been strong-arming everybody, Jay-Z's like Jack Dorsey. Jay-Z, like, for any, you know what I mean? It's a long time since Jay-Z had that B-side concert. Remember the B-side concert where he was just like, yo, like, I always looked at that. I was just like, this is why Jay-Z's such a great salesperson. Jay-Z fought for this idea that he was fighting for just black creators. And then as soon as he kind of got all the power from all the people, you ever watch Dragon Ball Z and they do the spirit bomb? And to do the spirit bomb, everybody got to go like this, and you give your power to one person and they make the spirit bomb and do some shit with it. That's Jay-Z. He took everybody's, collective cultural, like, oh, we got you, Jay, we love you, we love you. And then, you know what he did? He said, all right, I got this shit. All right, let me go kick it with them white folks. Peace out, niggas. I'm telling you, he's like, let me go do the NFL shit, move Colin Kaepernick. He took it all for himself. I can't even be mad. I always said he's a cold nigga, right? I won't even play that B-side concert, but ironically, and this is the funny part about, people are criticizing Drake and, his type of demeanor to a lot of these things. Jay-Z B-side concert. But Jay wasn't at his prime at that point. 9 years ago, no, I don't know if it was 9 years ago. He was just promoting Tidal. He wasn't at his peak anymore. But if you remember that freestyle, he was sounding like how Drake sounds now. I guess the only thing I'm trying to say, the Drake and Kanye to some extent, when they were still really hot, I saw them try to buck against the establishment. Jay has bucked against the establishment until he became the establishment, if you ask me. Drake, this is the first time Drake has bucked against the establishment. Now, I'm not going to say, I think Drake should have done this a long time ago. I think when Drake came out of, I don't think Drake should have signed that $400 million deal. I think Drake should have really used the max leverage and possibly try to, because this lawsuit is trying to shake up the entire game. Bro, you could have tried a quasi-independent or went independent back then and shook up the game. The biggest artist in the game, that's when you were number one on streaming platforms. That was when there was rumors that streaming platforms wanted to be record labels. Remember, they were signing Drake directly, say, just give us your album for a week. Drake had the chance to say, UMG, I'm not coming back there. You're not going to give me some of my catalog anyway. I'm going to go do a deal, a multifaceted deal where I do a deal with Spotify and I do a deal with Apple Music and I get it straight. No more middleman. Because what is a label for Drake other than a bank? But here's the thing. Drake didn't do it then. Drake is flying around in a cargo jet. Drake's lifestyle, he builds a $100 million house. He needs a lot of capital. So, you know what a record label always got for you? Capital. Right? So, I think Drake should have really bucked at them then because his leverage today isn't as much as it was then. Drake isn't the number one, streaming artist, respectfully, in the world. Actually, I think he still streams more than Taylor. No, actually, Taylor streams more than him. Yeah, Taylor streams more than him. Taylor streams more than him. Bad Bunny streams more than him. I think he's third. Maybe The Weeknd. I still think he beats The Weeknd, though. I think he does. Here's the point. Back then, Drake compared to number two because Drake helped make the market of streaming services. They needed Drake. They needed him. Now, I'm not saying the music industry don't still need Drake, But his leverage back then was like, yo, think about LeBron. Like, man, LeBron after he just went to the Heat. Like, maybe bad comparison because LeBron still got leverage. My point is this. A lot of these artists don't make the move when they're at their peak. Fortunately for Drake, his peak has lasted even till now, so it's still relevant. But when Jay started bucking at the industry, he was transitioning from being an artist. Kanye did it, but that's why Kanye did it during his peak, but he got ostracized a lot. They saw him as the unruly Negro who was he's going to snatch the mic, he's going to do this, you know? But listen to this, Jay, freestyle.
Don't ever go with the flow, be the flow. And I don't need no middleman to talk to my niggas. I understand.
Just listen to this freestyle and think about UMG. I'm telling you, a label does nothing. And by the way, I can't wait for Discovery to be proven. I know that we're going to get into it. They said to Drake, be careful what you wish for. Well, I can't wait to see what it is. I don't care if it helped or hurt him. We want to know what you did for Drake. That was a very ominous warning. They were trying to tell Drake, if you really want to see behind this curtain, you might see that we've done some of the same things for you that you're accusing us of doing for someone else, which, by the way, would make sense. I don't care if they did. But let's see behind the curtain, right? So, again, these days, a label, we don't know really what they're doing. I mean, they leverage their relationships with streaming services and shit like that. But listen to this freestyle. You're going to hear Jay talk about eliminating the middleman. Isn't the label a middleman at this point? Like, I was told about Drake's process. He don't play his label the album at all. There is no Bobby Shmurda, Shmoney dancing on the table, like, you know what I mean, doing all this shit, 5 backflips in the fucking boardroom that they're like, oh, no, we like this. This is some good shit the Negroes would like. No. He sends it to the label and tells them a date. There's the album. Put it out on this date. That's it. You get what I'm saying? Now, of course, they try to do like clearances and shit like that, like really quickly. But that's how his music comes out. So what's the point of a label for Drake? Well, they're a bank. They give Drake a lot of money. They gave him reportedly $400 million last time. But if Drake could, you know what I mean, he's getting money everywhere. You get money from Stake everywhere. Like, if he could just not need a bank, why does he need a label? So why doesn't he not go or try independent? Anyway, listen to this freestyle.
And I don't need no middleman to talk to my niggas. I understand if you don't understand, I figure I'm Jigga. That's where we differ. I take what's mine, you accept what they give you, I get you.
Just listen to every line and think about Drake mentality now.
I don't take no checks, I take my respect. Pharrell even told me go with the safest bet. Jimmy Iovine offered a safety net. Google dangle around a crazy check. I feel like YouTube is the biggest culprit. The niggas pay you a tenth of what you're supposed to get. You know niggas die for equal pay, right? You know when I work, I ain't your slave, right? You know I ain't shucking and jiving and high-fiving. You know this ain't back in the days, right? Well, I can't tell how the way they killed Freddie Gray, right? Shot down Mike Brown, how they did Trey, right? Let them continue choking niggas. We gonna turn style. I ain't your token nigga. You know I came in this game independent, right? Title, my own label, same difference. Oh, niggas are skeptical when it's their own shit. You bought 9 iPhones and Steve Jobs was rich. Phil Knight's worth trillions. You still
Okay.
want those kicks. Spotify's 9 billion. They ain't say shit. Lucy, you got some splaining to do. The only one they hating on look the same as you. That's cool. I know they trying to bamboozle you. Spending millions on me, they trying to confuse you. I had to talk to myself. Hope you used to. It's politics as usual.
Now, one thing I give Jay that Drake doesn't have. Drake has very little cultural currency. Jay-Z speaks to us from a nigga from Marcy Projects, and as much as at this point he was playing with hundreds of millions, but he came across like the underdog that was constantly getting taken advantage of. Drake, Drake is not. I haven't even spoke on this, and I'm gonna be honest with you. That's the difference between Drake and Jay. And by the way, this was a huge win for Jay. By the way, he bought Tidal for $56 million, and then he sold it. By the time he sold it to two companies. Sprint bought half of it for $200 million, and then the other half got purchased for another $200 million. So he turned $56 million to $200 million. No, it's to $400 million, damn near. So basically, that's almost a 10x. But how did he do it? He did it by them understanding his leverage with him being able to tell the culture, yo, we could affect these niggas if I say them niggas isn't like us. And that's the big difference between, Drake and Jay, if you ask me. But because Drake is doing all this through a lawsuit. Like, we're not hearing his voice. Like, he's not saying, like, even if he was posting on his story saying, yo, this lawsuit is bigger than me. This is for all artists. That's why some people have the narratives to say, bro, maybe you just salty, bro. You're doing this for yourself. Anyway, okay. So Drake has never engaged in any acts that would require he be placed on a neighborhood watch. He's never engaged in sexual relationships with a minor. He's never been charged, convicted of any criminal acts whatsoever. Okay? He then said, UMG. So by the way, I said all that to say, I'm not interested that much in defamation. I'm interested in this business play that Drake seemingly is trying to do, right? And I would imagine the business play is, yo, you guys try to snake me and devalue me for my new negotiation. Not only am I going to get you for some damages, I'm also going to set up possibly my exit from the major label system. Now, it's up to you guys if you think Drake would ever leave the major label system, but that is the conversation. So UMG did so because they understood the recording inflammatory and shocking allegations were a gold mine. Spreading the defamatory material served multiple business purposes. Okay, so this is what we want to get into. First, the more people who listen to and stream the song, the more money they got, right? UMG owns Kendrick Lamar back catalog and recorded music, and the leadership had every incentive to prove it could maximize its sales, only after recently persuading him to get into a direct licensing deal for a limited recording commitment, okay? So yeah, Kendrick, even though he's with PG Lang, he has a direct licensing agreement with UMG, and that licensing agreement allows UMG to exploit the music, but he still owns the masters. So Kendrick does own these new masters right here. It says, first, the more people... Okay, cool. And then third... Yeah. And it said third, in contrast with Kendrick's new first direct deal, UMG's, okay, here we go. Yeah, but they don't give details on this. UMG's contract with Drake was near fulfillment, and on information and belief, they anticipated that extending Drake's contract would be costly. By devaluing Drake's music, I couldn't see it. By devaluing his music and brand, they would gain leverage. So this is the most important, if you ask me, angle. That's why people would try to support Drake, right? Because if there's this thought that the music industry is damn near almost pretty much a Ponzi scheme, and like, this it's like this gamut in the sense of it's a unlosable game for the companies themselves. But for the artists, you're risking everything. For example, the labels they own 85% of all the hot songs or all the songs on the Billboard Hot 100 on average at any time. Sometimes it's even 90%. So if any money's coming into music, they're making it, right? They're not seen as a monopoly, so they're making most of the real money coming into music. They also, when they have to lose leverage because an artist is getting too big, they could kill that artist and make another one. So essentially, they're playing with house money, and anytime they build artists up, and when they have to, pay too much, they kill that artist and they bring another one up. And that's like this idea that people kind of have. People thought about 50 Cent. Well, 50 Cent was one of the hottest artists in the world, and then supposedly because he had this disagreement with Interscope, Jimmy Iovine specifically, at the time, he felt like they sabotaged or torpedoed his career. Anyway, so UMG's campaign was successful. The recording cloaks clever, dangerous lyrics behind a catchy beat and inviting hook, capitalized on those attributes. UMG used every tool at its disposal to make sure the world would hear that Drake's likes him young. Unlike any other song that Kendrick released, this song is played many billions of times. The false central message has calcified into accepted fact via social media and legacy media channels, broadcast in dozens of languages at minimum. Hundreds of millions of people span the globe. It's not just rap fans who now believe Drake is a certified pedophile, because it's not just only rap fans his music is exposed to. Instead, the recording has become ubiquitous, in significant part because UMG's deliberate efforts designed to accomplish that. Okay. All right. Cool. I'm going to do a little bit of skipping. Oh, they mentioned the Super Bowl here. They say billions of play weren't enough. They say long after UMG knew about the harm that it caused, with full understanding that countless listeners have interpreted the song lyrics and imagery to convey the assertions of the fact that UMG made significant financial investments and leveraged its professional connections via sophisticated and highly organized publicity campaigns to arrange for the recording to be performed at the most significant and viewed cultural events of the year, the Super Bowl. The recording was performed at the 2025 Super Bowl and broadcast to the largest audience for a Super Bowl halftime show ever. 133 million people, include millions of children and millions more who have never before even heard the song or any of the songs that preceded. It was a first and hopefully will be the last. The Super Bowl halftime show orchestrated to assassinate the character of another artist. UMG is pretty much responsible for legally putting that music out, and they're saying it was exploited by content creators on TikTok and whatever. Okay, cool. Now they mentioned Spotify. Spotify is actually not sued here, but they did. Drake did withdraw his motion to sue or to have Spotify in this lawsuit when he had the discovery portion, which was called petition. All right, let me see if anything else that's good. Drake was targeted by armed intruders. Okay, we read that already. They said the mob-like responses. At one point, flyers were plastered all over Toronto with a photo of Drake and a Canadian YouTuber who was sentenced to 3 years in prison for sexual assault with the words, "Canadian predators gotta stick together." The public response intensified following the 2025 Grammys and Super Bowl, both of which featured the defamatory material. Each of the prestigious and high-exposure events introduced new listeners to the recording, causing even more people to be duped into believing Drake was a pedophile. Not only did streams of the recording increase significantly following the two mega cultural events, but threats against Drake and his family did as well. Okay. Okay. They bring up Lucian Grange. They said Lucian Grange doesn't like allegations against him, and he leads UMG. And when he was sued alongside Diddy, he went crazy in his response and said the offensive false allegation of the criminal behavior were libelous. Okay? And, all right. Let's keep it going. Now, this is where it's interesting. So many months prior to filing this litigation, Drake attempted to address these claims privately with UMG. He believed that Lucian Grange should be held accountable for these decisions and how they conduct themselves. And UMG purports to care about threatening behavior and abusive behavior. And they note that harassment could take different forms, such as, all right, well, whatever. UMG responded to Drake that he would face humiliation if he brought legal action, presuming that the public would be unable to understand UMG's role in exploiting and profiting from this dispute. Their posture is that they're the world's largest music company and it was untouchable. Their response to Drake was especially perverse, given that they were perfectly willing to sue to protect his own interests when they believe that it was when it believes that doing so will protect its property. Okay. All right. With his own record label wage campaign against him, Drake has been left with no choice than to seek legal redress against UMG. They attempted to spin this complaint as a rap beef gone legal, but this lawsuit is not about a war of words between artists. The lawsuit involves no claims against Kendrick Lamar or any other artist. Instead, it's about UMG, the publisher and exclusive right holder of his music, as well as Drake's. And the malicious decision to publish and promote through both overt and covert means false allegations about Drake that they knew were false, explosive and inflammatory, and continued to result in both vitriol and substantial harm for Drake's reputation. Okay, so here's a little bit about the parties, jurisdiction, the background, and then we're going to get into some allegations. This is a little background about them. They're an industry giant. They have deals with TikTok, Spotify. Drake and them have had a long time relationship. Here we go. They started profiting from Drake's music in 2009. They extended their contract in 2022. Wow, 13 years later? Now, actually, I think that's wrong. Yeah. I think the reason why, because I know he read up like around the time of, if you're reading this is too late. I think they only mentioned 2022 because I think around 2014, 2015, the Birdman Cash Money situation got dissolved. And what happened was that finally Drake's contract, like it was like an addendum. Drake's contract was inherited by UMG. He was no longer going through Cash Money. Also, they had like some extension that happened around that time too. Anyway, okay, so it was 2022. After announcing the contract, they said Drake's all right, whatever. So the contract between UMG and Drake is up for renegotiation this year. By the spring of 2024, they understood that the rise of streaming platforms had enhanced the bargaining power for artists, and established artists whose contract are coming up for renewal are in improved position to demand higher take rates due to improved visibility of the cash flow and risk reduction. As described below and on information, Universal was incentivized to act, and in fact did, in a manner to reduce the bargaining leverage in advance of upcoming negotiations with Drake over contract renewal. Okay. They say Drake, UMG has licensed over Kendrick's song. We all know that. They published the defamatory material. Okay, we know that. They're talking about the lyrics. Malibu Most Wanted, Predator Moving Flux, Gotta Be Registered, Place on Neighborhood Watch, Hey, Run for Your Life. Okay. Rabbit Hole So Deep, I could go further, I promise. All right, okay, there's going from the lyrics. Now they're going from the images. They're going from, this is how it's on Apple Music. It's on Google Images is this. Spotify is this. And it's on Amazon Music is this. That's Drake's house, by the way. They're saying the defamatory material is false. Drake has never engaged in any romantic or sexual behavior with a minor. They start using comments to show that people's minds are not just saying, oh, it's a good song. They're saying, no, we believe the song. Drake is a predator. Some people say they're saying a diss. It's the truth. Somebody says, is telling the truth about Drake being a pedo. Somebody says, because everybody believe he loved touching kids and we have evidence everywhere. Somebody says, I love the song, would never know Drake was a whole PDF if this information was not exposed. Okay. More comments that came out. All right. I don't want to be that guy, but I never took Drake seriously because he's Canadian. He was in Degrassi, and the stuff makes it hard for people to take him serious. I thought that's why Kendrick went after him. Now that it's more serious than his Drake being fake, I'm like, whoa, if I knew all this, I'd hate Drake too. This is a checkmate for Drake because how do you exactly respond to someone call you a sociopath, a deadbeat, and a pedo? As for Kendrick Lamar, I just want to know how he found out some of these things and what took him so long to call Drake out. So these are just like comments they're using, but they're using as proof that people have made up their minds that Drake is a PDF. All right. All right, they're quoting a lot of that. All right, let's keep it going. Now, The public understanding was not limited to social media users. In May 10th, recording in a minute show produced by NPR, host Brittany Luce discussed the allegations in a recording with these other two people. They said they understood the recording to be linking Drake and his alleged criminal behavior to other famous criminals who were revealed as public sexual predators and later convicted for their crimes, such as R. Kelly. Miss Madden insinuated that the allegations could be true, commented that so much dirt has been unearthed, okay? To Love, the allegations rose to the level of wanting an investigation because while this sort of behavior, meaning sexual violence, is in our faces in a lot of the industry, it's unusual for them to come up from contemporaries. The podcast positioned the recording as having a potential tipping point for a Me Too movement in the hip-hop world. So you were having people listen to the song and damn near call out. They were calling out for an investigation on Drake. All right. All right, let's keep going. He was a target of violence. We've been through that. We'll get to the bot stuff. Hold up. Drake publicly denies the defamatory material. On May 5th, just after UMG published a recording, Drake denied all the allegations in a song called The Hard Part 6. He explained that he's never been with no one underage and that his name is not on the sexual offender list. And he says, despite being able to contact Drake, UMG did not ask Drake or his representatives to discuss his denials of the allegations contained in the defamatory material. Belief in truth, the defamatory material persisted in direct response to Drake's denial of the claims. They put this. What is this? Oh, somebody responded to him tweeting out the Heart 6, and somebody says, I don't care what they say. You'll always be in the big three in my book. And they have, I believe this is Jeffrey Epstein. I think this is Harvey Weinstein. And then we have Drake. On July 4th, they published Not Like Us. They did that, it came out on all these platforms. UMG did that knowing that there was actual violence and threats of violence. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, they didn't update the views. They said the views is at, how many views is Not Like Us views? Oh, it's only at 3. I thought it was at 1 billion already. Oh, okay. It's 1 billion on streaming, definitely. Okay. It's at 320 million at the time of this filing. On information of belief, each of Sir Grange, Janik, and Lippman, and Mr. Avery Lippman play a key role in the initial publication of the video. Now, the reason why this is interesting here, and I got to break it down, I've said this before in like label politics. John Janik. So John Janik is the chairman and CEO of Interscope Records. So he's the one who's going to be the boss for where Kendrick's music's coming out of. Now, Monty Lippman, hold on, they said Monty, right? Monty Lippman, this is why it's interesting. Lippman. Monty Lippman is the CEO of Republic. Drake is on Republic. Kendrick is on Interscope. It all falls under UMG. Drake is actually accusing his own CEO of Republic. So remember, Republic has Post Malone, Weeknd, Taylor, Drake. He's saying, and just listen to this. Listen, it says, they played a key role in directing and approving the publication or prevent its publication. So what he's saying is that Elliot Grange and John Janik, not Elliot Grange, Lucian Grange. Lucian Grange, who runs the whole thing. John Janik runs Kendrick Lamar's label, Interscope. He's saying they put it out, but he also blames his own label. He says they didn't stop it from coming out. That's why he names Monty Lippman and Avery Lippman, who I believe is CEO and VP. The video caused people to believe more allegations or believe the allegations against Drake. People start calling him a colonizer. So now people would update the description of Drake's Toronto address in rideshare apps on Uber and Lyft to say Drizzy touches kids and Drizzy fun time chamber and A minor. What the fuck? So they put like location tags on his house on rideshare apps. Hold on. Okay. All right, we're getting through this. I know it's only page 50. We're going to get to the bot stuff and what he believes. Okay, so there's a bunch of vigilante stuff. Okay. Now, in the months since the initial publications and 4 months after it understood the harms that Drake suffered, blah, 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 they posted it. They said the data is falling. UMG has social media. Okay. They posted on their shit. They're saying that Interscope reposted a tweet bragging that Kendrick Lamar became the fastest rap song to reach 300 million streams in only 35 days. Okay. They posted a carousel. Yeah, so basically they're bigging up the song. Yeah, I mean, Interscope is just, not Interscope, but Interscope and UMG, they're just promoting the song, but Drake is detailing how they're promoting the song. Let's get to the bots. They talk about him winning Grammys for it. Okay. They say between Complex has published, Complex is a bunch of, come on, you know that. They published 70 articles about Not Like Us. And UMG owns part of Complex. Okay. UMG grants license to promote defamatory materials. They have listed the recorder's website for licensing for TV and film. Oh shit! So you could put Not Like Us in a television show. Welcome to UMPG Songs, which is Universal Music Publishing Group, where you can browse through their catalog to stream the full songs or whatever. So you could actually contact them about trying to put Not Like Us in a movie or something like that. Obviously, you'd have to pay a fee. But they are licensing the song, which, by the way, it's kind of standard. It's a popular song. They have playlists with the songs. Okay. They gave licenses for other people or sporting events to play the songs. Oh, okay. The Super Bowl played the song. All right, cool. Let's get to the bottom, man. The agreement to censor the... Okay. So now this is... And I don't know how Drake found this out, but they're basically saying that according to an NFL post on X, the Super Bowl performance, it had this amount of impressions. All right, cool. But here's the thing. It says UMG... I don't know how Drake is finding this out. I think Drake has a snitch in UMG, clearly. It says... UMG sought out, negotiated, and greenlit and promoted the Super Bowl performance after the filing of this complaint after months of notice that the allegations in the defamatory material were false and that were believed to be as true by the public and that they were causing harm to Drake. The agreement to censor the word pedophile failed to cure the Super Bowl performance and conveying the recording's central defamatory meaning. Instead, the Super Bowl performance only further solidified the public belief in the truth of the allegations against Drake. It says, how many people in the world didn't know Drake was credibly being accused of being a pedophile and know now? So these are his comments. Okay. All right. So here we get to the bots. On information and belief that UMG directly or indirectly through its agents and making use of UMG resources conspired or paid and caused payments to be made to unknown third parties to use bots to artificially inflate the recording on Spotify. At minimum, UMG was aware that third parties were using bots to stream the song, and they turned a blind eye to it. Despite having the power to stop such behavior, bots or software programs decided to mimic human behavior to appear to be real social media accounts. The desire to jumpstart the record and popularity is unsurprising because streamed to get more streams. Songs identified as top streamers land on most popular lists and playlists, which leads to more streams. Fake streams are well known across the music industry. In 2023, the Financial Times reported that experts estimated as much as 10% of all music streams are fake, derived from bots and streaming farms, where devices run services like Spotify and other streaming platforms on a loop. Okay. Publicly, Spotify stated that it's aware of the issue on its platform and is trying to work on it. In response to Drake pre-litigation, they explained that it invests heavily into automated and manual reviews to prevent and detect and mitigate the impact of such things on the platforms. Recently, Chart Data, which reports on music news, reported that Spotify has been removing botted streams from its platform over the last several months. In June 2024, one podcast host stated, I think this is, this is Joe Budden right here. They ain't even named Joe. One podcast host stated, not only do I not care that he used bots, I knew he did. Let's see. Yeah, they got it right here.
There's a story going around that Kendrick is preparing to shoot the Not Like Us video this weekend in L.A. Mm-hmm. Gave an example of that video.
Fuck. I don't give a fuck about any of that to me.
My distinguished panel stand on the matter of Kendrick using bots in his Drake verse.
Oh, well, let me go first. About what you niggas in this bikes and...
Not only do I not care that he used bots, but
Here we go.
I'm going to take it a step even further than what y'all saying. Not only do I not care that he used bots, but I knew he did.
Okay. Cool.
What else is there to y'all didn't know that Kendrick used bots?
No, and I didn't care.
You thought that this was just the first time miraculously that a Drake record ever had more dislikes than likes, or you didn't know that was bots? Bots, to me, was a part of how you win the war versus Drake.
Yeah, this new age war, yeah.
If you didn't do it, Drake was going to do it.
Okay, so that's what that's from. They talk about the dislikes on Drake's songs. They said it was the first time it's ever happened. Oh, they said, no, this actually, Joe pointed out that, come on, we've never seen a Drake song with more dislikes than likes.
Probably did.
No, he did. He did. But because he lost in the fashion that he lost in, there seems to be a select crowd out there that continues to not lose gracefully. Mm-hmm. Like, they keep trying to find different ways to put smut on Kendrick. Not saying that maybe some of the smut is not warranted, but hip-hop has kind of crowned him the winner of the beef. None of the... I didn't know that any Drake news coming from you is just get out of the way. Mac is the mouthpiece.
Okay, all right. So they're talking about streamer farms, streamer bots, apparently... Oh, Flacco is quoted in this. Flacco, come on, get your clout, Flacco.
Is this. You see, this is a tool where essentially you just click a couple of buttons, insert your song links or insert a playlist link, you click play. Once your link is in the software, you just tell the software how many streams you want. If you want 1 million streams, you tell the software I want 1 million streams. If you want 10 million, tell it I need 10 million. It's that simple. You just tell the software how many streams you want and click a button and it gets you those streams. And it automatically plays the record for you. It's simple. Now, as an artist, bro, it's almost unlimited possibilities, right? You could boost your own.
Yo, how come Flacco only stutter on No Jumper? He don't stutter on his own channel. Shout out to Flacco, man.
Numbers that make the charts are, if you want to sell this service to labels and artists, you can do so. Watch how simple this is. Watch how you're about to hear this song get played by an AI over and over and over.
And party at the party playing with his...
Well, listen, if you're sick and tired of not seeing your song on the charts because the label got the system rigged with the software, or if you are an entrepreneur and want to sell this service to artists and labels and you want to know how to access the software and start using it, well, you're at the right place, all right? Just click the Buy Now button and go through the course where I teach you exactly.
What? Crazy. All right. Third party have documented strange recommendations in searches on Spotify. On July 3rd, somebody said they typed in Eminem and it came up with Not Like Us. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Yeah, they have a lot of things up in this goddamn lawsuit. Now, here's the thing. When UMG says be careful what you wish for, I'm wondering if they have like real knowledge of maybe them and Spotify saying when something is hot, we extra push it. We give it a 50x push. So if you search any artist, I ain't gonna lie, I was searching Vybz Kartel. I was Not Like Us was coming up. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because you know I listen to Vybz Kartel religiously. But I would search Vybz Kartel and Not Like Us would come up. But I can't say it's the first time it happened. There's certain times, certain songs are like just so popular, you could feel the streaming platforms pushing it down your throat. Pause. Let's see. Okay, anyway. Now they're saying UMG employed a similar scheme. They pay social media influencers to promote and endorse a recording. As one example, plaintiff understand that UMG paid directly the popular NFR podcast to promote the recording and video without disclosing payment. Part of the deal, UMG, NFR podcast publicly published podcast episodes, tweets, and other recording about the video. Upon information and belief, UMG calls Apple to have his voice-activated digital assistant, Siri, purposely misdirect users requesting other songs to instead stream the recording. Online sources report that when users asked Siri to play Certified Lover Boy, it instead played the recording. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Let me see if I could. Is this it? Because I've heard this before. Look.
I just saw somebody on Twitter request to play Certified Lover Boy on Spotify, and it just goes straight to Not Like Us. I don't believe everything I see online, so let's just test it out, okay? You're seeing my screen to a degree. All right. Play Certified Lover Boy on Spotify. Psst, I see dead people.
Now, here's the thing. Not shooting Kendrick or UMG no bail, but I do believe that there's an algorithm that Siri or whatever that voice activated thing goes off, and it goes off most important lyrics, even though it should probably go off song title first, but it probably ranks songs in order of importance or popularity, and they probably know people may use Shazam or something else, and they don't know the full name of the song, so they come in with the lyric. Yo, play the song that go, dan, 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 like, you know, people, they're using their phones. So I'm not going to say that's like a crazy thing, but I can see why Drake's team is going to allege it's crazy, because here's the thing. Drake has a whole album called Certified Lover Boy, but then Kendrick puts it in his song saying Certified Lover Boy, Certified Pedophile, which he mentions the exact name of his album. And because, respectfully, that song is as popular as Drake's whole album, at least at this point, Siri is just picking the most popular thing that mentions that, as opposed to, you know, I'm pretty sure if this dude, that dude on Elliot Wilson's show, he sound mad homosexual. I like notice, but he just sound mad gay. Like he got some sugar in his tank. Like he might have had a penis up his ass, or maybe he's just white. I don't know. The right way to do this should have been play Drake Certified Lover Boy, right? Because Drake doesn't have a song called Certified Lover Boy. That's another problem too. Certified Lover Boy is not a song, it's an album. Right? If it can't find a song, remember, you don't say the artist name. If it can't find a song, remember, it's a computer doing this. If it can't find a song with that name, it probably goes to lyrics as opposed to finding an album. So I don't really think that was whatever, but of course Drake's team's going to use that as, yo.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Spotify. What's going on?
Okay. Now, there's a little sugar in this nigga's tank. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I be, as much as I dislike that fuck nigga Ruri, bruv, I gotta keep it a beat. At least Ruri don't sound like he been penetrated a few times. This nigga sound like, yo, this nigga sound, come on, bro. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Come on, bro. Come on. Like, you know when a nigga, like, there's no way he talks hip-hop with this voice right here. Like, this is the type of voice you talk batimanting with. Like, that voice is just not how we talk in hip-hop, bro. In hip-hop, we need a little bass in your voice, gang. This little, sir, hey Siri, play. Nah. This batiman activity. I'm gonna keep it a beat.
Straight to Not Like Us. I don't believe everything I see online.
But I heard he Canadian, though. But my Canadian niggas don't talk like that. Yo, shout out to my dog Boondog. Shout out to Top 5. Yo, shout out to everybody from the 6. Shout out to Doovie. Don't free my nigga Doovie still. They don't talk this light. This is Batiman activities.
So let's just test it out, okay? You're seeing my screen to a degree. All right.
And it's not a white thing, because I'm telling you, that fuck nigga Ruri, I don't like that nigga at all. But that fuck nigga, he don't talk like this. He don't sound a little bit. He don't sound like he got a little extra sugar in the tank.
Play Certified Lover Boy on Spotify.
Like, nigga, you sounded so gay saying that shit. I see why they played Kendrick. You sounded so beta saying that. Like, there's no bass in your voice, nigga.
Psst, I see dead people.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
All right.
I posted a video where if you ask Siri to play Certified Lover Boy on Spotify, it plays Not Like Us. And I did some research and figured it out, because this is going viral. I saw Complex just reposted a version of it. It's going crazy on Twitter. They identify things using lyrics within the song. I'm assuming this feature is for people who don't know the name of a song, but they know the lyrics, and they ask Siri to play it, and Siri will use the AI to pick up like the genius lyrics in the background to play the song. So for example, I tried this. Siri, can you play Drop, 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 Drop on Spotify?
Maybe in this song, you shouldn't start by saying...
So it went to Family Matters.
Yeah, because if it's not the name of a song, it just goes to lyrics. Like, I don't know why the stupid ass nigga even made this video in the first place. It's clear. Siri goes off lyrics, not albums. Because they can't, when you say play an album, they're not going to, they're thinking you want a song, not an album. So when you say something that's not the name of a song, it goes to lyrics, and if there's the most popular lyric with it, it goes to.
By Drake. And then if you do this, Siri, can you play WAP, 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 WAP on Spotify?
Psst, I see dead people.
Okay. So basically, it's all about the lyrics. Drake doesn't have a song that says Certified Lover Boy. And it doesn't lean, like, you can't be like, yo, Siri, play Reasonable Doubt. All right, let me see what else. UMG offered paid incentives. Now they're using Funk Flex, talking about the New York, but they're talking about radio. Radio didn't break Not Like Us. I'm not going with that. This is why iHeart dropped out of that shit. Radio didn't make this shit. Now they mentioned Twitch streamer No Life Shack, Zeus, whatever. Okay. This is why niggas thought they were getting sued. No, you're not. Kai, RDC, Reactors, Kai, No Shaq, and Akademiks have confirmed. Wait, when did I confirm? Hold on. I got to see what they use them on. No Life Shack, Zeus. Oh, yeah. We talked about it on our stream. Man, they be watching, huh? Oh, I ain't even gonna go to the timestamp. Yeah, we did talk about, yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you, bruh. Y'all know Drake's my man's, but I'm always be honest. Yo, bruh, I'm gonna keep it a beat with you. I'm not gonna call it like, yeah, that was a thing. Bruh, I could definitely say it. Here's the reality. Kendrick took pretty much one of the best music marketers or digital marketers, and he just works for him. That nigga who Drake mentioned, named Kojo, me and Kojo used to do mad shit together. Now Kojo is only PG Lag. The nigga's one of the best out here, and he's clearly shown it. You get what I'm saying? Here's the thing. Like, you can't get mad that niggas is getting whitelisted and shit like that. I remember talking to these labels about how music should be promoted, and labels are so antiquated, they think you're stealing songs. So, like, now they're opening up to stuff. You know with Dirk, and I'm saying this because it's the Kojo dude. Kojo is the nigga who says, yo, if everything is dropping via Ak on a live stream, yo, Ak got 56, I had almost 100,000 people to listen to a song, but it was mostly on YouTube. Damn, niggas got to react. There's a whole ecosystem. Reactors, yo, let's just let them be able to do it. Bro, that's not no bot shit. That's smart. Like, shout out to Kojo. Like, you know what I mean? Again, we ain't talking a while, but we made some good money together. Like, that's my guy. But like, that's good shit. Yo, they whitelisted me for Dirk shit. I just didn't stream the night before. Some bullshit happened with me. I forgot. Dirk's label sent me like the free Dirk hoodie that I think I even wore to like Florida. And they whitelisted my channel. You know why? They're realizing where the game is at now is streamers and all this type of stuff. I won't call this botting. And I know Drake's going to throw anything in the mix to try to win his, this lawsuit, but I'm not calling. Bro, a label, go back to like 2012. If a label heard an idea that their artist was going to make a song on Max's stream, nigga, they would say, tell Max to suck a cock. But that was them thinking, why would we have a song made live that people could hear, even if it's unfinished and unmixed, and then they're stealing the unfinished version and we don't get paid off of it until way after. They don't like that. It's the music industry. In 2025, that's a really good idea. You see DDG, who I believe, I ain't gonna lie, I think DDG's come up has been, DDG used a little bit of what Max did and some IRL niggas, and he's the only nigga in the streaming community that really is like swaggy and I know swaggy sounds corny, but like wavy with like lit real bitches. Like, these niggas is getting OnlyFans chicks. DDG gonna have the bitches you want to see. Like, he's gonna have the Lala, the Island Girl. He gonna have all these hoes on his shit. That's why DDG just blew up. Well, not blew up, but because he's been lit. But this is why he took the streaming shit. None of these niggas could do the girl shit like he does. Because he's gonna go out with real live chicks you looking up on the gram who's lit. He's not doing the, oh, let's pay these girls $100 to get on our stream and they do OnlyFans. No, he's getting with the lit bitches. But also he did what Max does too, which is the, yo, let's rap, let's make a hit live or whatever. He did the hit-a-thon, and shit, it's been working for him. I ain't gonna lie to you. I even think DDG was ever, I never thought he was gonna, DDG is like pretty much, I feel like DDG just, him and Max are like here. Which I thought that was a crazy conversation if we had that last year. Anyway, here's the point. What I'm trying to say is that I'm not blaming UMG for this. Yo, I'm going to keep it a bean with you. I remember saying this to Drake himself. Yo, Drake's my favorite artist. Like, Drake my favorite artist. But, yo, And I hope I'm not like drunk talking here, but it is what it is. Nigga, I even posted one time. I say, yo, bro, I don't even like posting Drake music because I'm not saying Drake is doing this, but his label clearly, they were so greedy when it came to Drake shit. It made niggas not want to post this shit. And they're looking like, we don't need you to post it. It's Drake, nigga. So cool, whatever. But like, I remember you know how God's Plan blew up, right? Trippie Redd's DJ played that shit because Trippie got sent the song by Drake. Trippie should have hopped on the song. His DJ played the song, and the song went viral. Here's the problem with Drake's label, which I do think Drake's label is mad lame. I've always thought it. And if Drake adopts that mentality, Drake is out of touch too. What Kendrick did is fucking smart. I'm not knocking nothing that he did. Yo, letting streamers be able to monetize while reacting to shit live without blocking a shit, that's dope. I'm sorry. That's dope. Republic won't let you play a Drake leak without them sending, they have this company that they send at you that they damn near want money from you, my nigga. So think about all the artists popping now. Cardi live off snippets. Nigga, even when, and by the way, again, listen, I'm gonna always keep it 100 because Drake my nigga still, but I ain't never gonna be a liar. Our Twitter page, we got flagged twice because we leaked the Super Bowl performance. So we couldn't post for like a while. UMG and Interscope hit me and said, it's not us. Bro, we let you post leaks. You could post whatever, nigga. We would never try you. It was the NFL that did it, honestly. I'm going to keep it a bean with you. I don't know why Republic don't do that. Like, my nigga, if I had if I had a song from The Weeknd right now and I try to tease it, nigga, that would get this whole stream clipped. If I have unreleased Drake songs. If I play it right now, they will clip the whole shit. That's a antiquated, old school, stupid way of thinking. The way how shit pops off now, niggas is making songs on stream and it still go up. So if you ask me, Drake, and again, this ain't Drake really fully writing the law, so it's his lawyer. Drake should learn a thing or two from Kendrick. I'm keeping it a bean. You got to learn a thing or two. Yo, Kendrick made let me tell you this. Even right now, this is why everybody said I was alone in defending Drake. Yo, Kendrick made them niggas like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like some of these niggas is bumming broke. They couldn't even pay their rent. Kendrick whitelist their channels, allowed them to make some money off the battle. Bro, them niggas is not going to switch on Kendrick. They're fucking with Kendrick. They're not fucking with Drake. That has to be accounted for. It's not just about, no, that's a real thing. Bro, go watch these reactor channels, bro. They're still trying to eat off the battle. You got to learn from that, I think. All right. Yeah, we talked on this. All right. And by the way, I don't blame that on Drake. I blame that on Republic. Republic really, because Republic got these big ass artists, they have zero idea. And by the way, y'all Republic niggas who work digital or whatever, because I see y'all at concerts and I talk to y'all. Y'all fucking suck. Y'all are egotistical. Y'all think because y'all got the biggest names, y'all got Drake, Taylor Swift, The Weeknd, Post Malone, Ed Sheeran, that y'all don't have to deal with influencers. Like, put it like this. Dirk shit goes through Interscope now. No, actually, no, it's not Interscope. Ooh, no, it's not. That was before. Dirk shit goes through Sony now. Bro, you know what they said? Yo, Dirk locked up. He can't post on his page. Bro, we'll whitelist your channel. Could you do a listening party for it? You know what I mean? I don't think I did it that night. I think I probably did it afterward. I don't know if I did it at all, honestly. But they whitelisted my YouTube. I'm not on Twitch. You see, on Twitch, I could play music whenever. Like, only place I can play music now is on Rumble. I get the most viewership on YouTube. So, here's the thing. I could get Interscope to whitelist any song for me. Yo, I want to play this on YouTube, on my channel, on my stream. They're going to be like, of course, Ak. Because we know when you play it, this is going to be mad promotion for us. Even if you're shitting on it. Sony does the same. Republic is just shitty. They're just, I don't know who they got over digital over there. I work with some of them at times. I think, again, I'm not blaming Drake. I think that they've just looked, they've adopted a mentality to say, Drake don't need a preview. If you ever play a Drake song that's unreleased, you're stealing. And that's why I believe maybe even Drake and Drake's lawyers are looking at this to say, yeah, nah, Universal is going crazy by whitelisting channels. No, that's very cool. I'm glad that they did that. They're supposed to whitelist. Like, yo, you know how many songs? Now I'm giving y'all some YouTube game. Bro, B-Lou and Zeus are the most popular reactors. And at times they react to songs and the labels don't even let them make money from the songs. They're gassing the songs. They're encouraging people to go listen to the songs, and they can't make money from their own video because they're listening to the song in the video. Like, these record labels are really fucking greedy, bruh. So, like, if somebody come along, I don't care if it's in a battle or not, and say, oh, y'all can make some money off your reactions, bruh, we gotta rock with it, bro. I'm sorry.
So Drake is suing iHeartRadio, which is the Breakfast Club is owned by iHeart Media, or whatever it's called, by iHeart. Drake shouldn't be surprised that I don't see anything going anywhere for Drake. It's like what Axe said. Okay, you're trying to sue someone, and then you go to that person you're trying to sue and say, okay, give me the information so that I can sue you. Bro, everything's like, all the proof is gone. They got rid of everything, bro. They're not dumb. Like, these are 100, like 9-figure plus corporations, 9-figure, 10-figure corporations, bro. Like, you're not just gonna get to just waltz in there and do that. Like, Drake is really rich, but it's like, bro, you're not gonna get to do that, Drake. And Drake is still Drake. I know this beef, man, it's not really much I could say, bro. It's your boy Big X News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you guys feel about everything in the comments below, and I'm out.